32 FM.
One tagline is never enough. 32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Are you ready?
When the people became silent,
the government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9.
Just because you do not take an interest in politics doesn't mean politics won't take an interest in you.
The funds spent were properly spent because we got them from intervention funds.
Only you waka come. There is God.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and the other room.
Stay in tune with politics on 32 FM 94.9.
In order to matter, matters of the state must matter to you.
If some people are crying that they are in darkness, they should go and hold those who vandalize the installation.
Let me say that the political crinkle.
Stay tuned to politics on 32 FM 94.9.
Safa sapeli sizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula mo Aniteleni ko Kelizela Wemaye wemodo Safa sapeli sizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula mo Aniteleni ko Kelizela Wemaye kana Wasafasa pele sizwe sinyama Iwasafa Isizwe sabantu Alamula Anijaleni nkokelize Wemaye wemodo
It's another Saturday morning, dear listener, on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. I am CHIKE OGBOGU. The program is the Podium. You call it the Podium o'clock on this dial, 32 FM 94.9. I promised you this week will be very interesting on the Podium. On the Podium this morning, we'll be looking at our primary healthcare centers, especially in Oyo State. We'll also look at the fuel scarcity. Is it still biting hard? How much do you buy fuel in your area? We'll look at that later on. I'll introduce my guest in a bit. But before I introduce my guest, the primary health center is the basic structural and functional unit of the public health in developing countries. The primary health care center is the most efficient and effective way to achieve health for all because it is about how best to provide health care and services to everyone. Primary health care forms an integral part of the country's health system. While the main focus of primary health care is the health of individuals, families, and communities at large, primary health care is equally concerned with addressing the overall social and economic development of communities, thereby targeting the social determinants of health. Primary health care embodies a spirit of self-reliance and self-determination. The principles of primary health care were first outlined in the Declaration of Alma Ata in 1978 by the member nations of the World Health Organization. And what's the reason? Just to provide accessible and affordable primary health care to people. That was a seminal stone in global health. 40 years later, global leaders ratified the declaration at the Global Conference on Primary Health Care, which took place in Astana, Kazakhstan in October 2018. According to the World Health Organization, primary health care addresses the majority of a person's health needs throughout his or her lifetime. These include physical, mental, and social well-being, and it is people-centered rather than disease-centered. Primary health care is a whole of society approach that includes health promotion, disease prevention, treatment, rehabilitation, and palliative care. A primary health care approach comprises 3 basic components. We'll talk about those components later on. The focus on the primary health care began between 1985 and 1992. Let's come down to Oyo State. Reports have it that about 80% of the over 30,000 primary health care facilities in the country are non-functional. Most of the 721 primary health care centers in Oyo State were dilapidated until they started getting revived. With me in the studio this morning to discuss primary health care centers and primary health care in its entirety in Oyo State is the Executive Secretary, Oyo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muhyiddin Olatunji. Good morning, and it's good to have you on the podium this morning.
Good morning, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Right, how has it been so far? Primary health care is supposed to be a grassroots thing. I know the governor, since he came on board, has been trying as much as possible to revive those redundant, let me put it that way, primary health care centers. How many have been revived? How many are yet to be revived?
Well, thank you. You came in with a good background history and a good narrative. The journey of how we moved and to the point that we are now. And you said about 80% of PHC across the country are not functional. No, I will not concede to that. You will say they are not functional optimally. They're still functional, but not optimally the way and manner they're supposed to. So that could be acceptable. Because once they're not functional, I mean they are already short or they're not in existence. Okay. They're in existence, but not as functional as it ought to be. Then in our state, like I said, we have quite above 700 primary healthcare facilities across the nooks and crannies of the state in various local government and political wards. And when this admission came on board, you know, one of the cardinal pillars of this administration is health. And we got talking with His Excellency, and something like this that she just gave us a narrative was given to him. And we right there and then, it was agreed that we need to revive the PHC. As everybody knows, is a building block and is the foundation for a sustainable healthcare service delivery. So if you don't have a robust and qualitative PHC, there's no way you have a functional secondary or tertiary level of care, because the work that ought to be taken at the PHC level will now need to shift to either the primary or the secondary, and that will make them to lose focus on what they are supposed to do. And cases that shouldn't have been there ordinarily will now be the burden of the tertiary institution, and in few cases maybe secondary institutions. So then, rather than then, it was divided that let's now work with a program that the country is divided into states, the state into local government and local government into political wards. So in each of the political ward where people resides, can we now have one functional primary health care facility in each of those political wards, so that it can be closer to people, and that will be the first level of rejuvenation. So, and Oyo State has 351 political wards. So with that one, we commenced the renovation and upgrade of 351 primary health care facilities across Oyo State. So as I'm talking to you now, we've done close to 200 facilities. The remaining 99 plus 50 are now in the process of almost completion. Work is just about to start in the 50, but the remaining 99, what had commenced on them, but to different level of completion. So that is the state where we are now in our state.
Now, I like the fact that you said so many, a large number has been completed, and then you have some. Now, it goes beyond completion. When you complete these centers, what and what are put into place to make sure that it functions optimally?
Now, you want to build a house. I know you are going to agree with me. You must first of all map out the land on which you are going to build a house. After mapping out the house and you put a site, you put out your sketch, the design of the house. That will guide you. Now, in getting there and again, you have to start the building from the foundation. You put your blocks together and put on the roof. You've completed the house. So that means everything needs to be in stages. Now, if we complete the renovation now, that means structural renovation. Now, it has to do with the infrastructure built in that will fit into them. And that has to do with the materials, the beddings, the other gadgets, even other conveniences like television, all those stuff, to make it attractive aesthetically. Yes, for the local to be able to appreciate. Those are in the pipeline. That is the milestone. That's where we are going. So after we do that, we are going to equip them and make sure that they can discharge the service that they are meant to.
What about
discharge.
the pre-existing ones that were renovated?
That's what I'm saying now.
Now, those ones that were renovated, are they functioning optimally?
Listen, they are functioning. And what would make a PAT or a facility to be functional is not only the building.
Yeah, manpower,
God bless you.
And all that.
The equipment and what have you.
You know why I asked that question?
Okay,
there are some PHCs, that's primary healthcare centers, that you go to. They don't have electricity. There are some primary healthcare centers you go to. They tell you to buy your fuel. Some tell you to go as far as buying candles. Some will tell you buy cotton wool. That's why I said,
I told you, I said it's not only the structure.
Yeah.
Other things go into it. And when you are talking, you see me smiling because it seems as if you are just preemptive of what we have in plan. Now, those 351 that we are renovating now is part of the whole envelope, what we need to do. That alternate electric supply, I mean, each one of them will be equipped with a generating set. Each one of them will be provided with a bowl to provide, because you can't have a health facility without water. You can't really,
It's not a health facility.
It's a health facility, but not a good and qualitative health facility.
Without water?
Yes, it will be. We have some that are now, but I agree with you. It's not the standard. It's not what's supposed to be. So you can't say they are not. They are, but they are not quality. They are not the desired. So part of the 351 now, each one of them, you have boreholes sunk as part of the added facilities that will be there. I just mentioned to you now, agency set, not only the agency set. Now we are going to have 3 modes of electricity supplying. Now, national grid will be there, electric generating set will be there, then there will be solar power attached to each of those facilities. That is the roadmap the state is going.
Those are alternative power
supply that have to complement. So at any time there will be electric supply, in few of them we actually started. Like if you go to OGBOGU in Gates, you go there, they have a generating set, they have solar power panel installed there, then they are still connected to the national grid. And that is the way it's going to be replicated across all the areas we are going to renovate. Even some of them that are not under renovation now, even beyond the 351, there are some that will see benefit from this alternate power supply eventually.
It's still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. My guest is Dr. Muhyiddin Olatunji, the Executive Secretary of the Oyo State Primary Healthcare Center, Primary Healthcare Board. And we'll be going on this break. And when we come back, we'll discuss more on it. And let's look at issues that have cropped up in these healthcare centers in the primary session. Don't go away. It's the Podium on 32 FM 94.9.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí, egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni, ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Beneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o, Benetton cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Benetton cleanser ni. Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́. Benetton cleanser egbòogi àtẹ́jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Benetton cleanser egbòogi àtẹ́jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Benetton cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street Aláàfin Avenue Olúyọ̀lé Estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Benetton cleanser àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
Òótọ́ ni bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni búrẹ́dì pọ̀ nílẹ̀ yìí tọ̀rọ̀ àwàdà kọ́ àmọ́ ó ṣe kókó ṣe pàtàkì kárí àrídájú ohunkóhun tá a bá fẹ́ mú lọ sẹ́nu ẹni a jẹ́ pé gbogbo olùfẹ́ búrẹ́dì tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ Great Meal Bread ni gbogbo ayé ń dìbò fún báyìí búrẹ́dì tá a gbé jáde lọ́nà tìgbàlódé pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó sì tún lọ lọ́fun tìrín tẹ́ ẹ bá jẹ búrẹ́dì Great Meal ẹ̀ ní fẹ́ jẹ̀mí ìmọ̀ ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ Great Meal Bread bó ṣe kí bẹ́ẹ̀ ló dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ó lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ó dúró déédéé lẹ́nu kò sí tẹ́ fi pàdé ẹ̀ tí ò bá ṣọ̀rẹ́ bó jẹ́ yín bó jẹ́ wà ìbáàjẹ́ omelette ta kó pọ̀ mẹ́ja tó bá wá jẹ́ mọ́ínmọ́ín àbí àkàrà tẹ́ po tíì bó ṣe wù yín gbogbo ọ̀nà ló gba Great Meal Bread Great Meal Bread ò ní bromate nínú àjọ NAFDAC sì ló ń tẹ̀ pé ó jẹ́ ayọ̀ ní ká máa jẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ Great Meal Bakery ló ń gbé Great Meal Bread jáde wọ́n wà ní ọlọ́mọyọyọ street off Akérèmísà Arọ̀rọ̀ Mákindé Gospel Town Ọ̀jọ́ Ìbàdàn ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 0704-443-4463 Great Meal Bread. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.
Délé, kí ló fariwo lé àwọn dàda?
Dàda ló dákú látàárọ̀.
Kí ló mú?
Ọ̀kan lára àwọn gbàrọ̀ gùdú bẹ́ńtọ́gì tó lùgbòrò pa ló mú sọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n fi wọ́n lẹ̀. Géèmù tó ti ń tòbọ̀ láti bí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ló tan green kí wọ́n sanwó fún ni wọ́n bá ní wọ́n tún jẹ gbèsè.
Orí mi o.
Gbogbo owó tó wà nínú àkáǹtì rẹ̀ ó ní wọ́n tún fà lọ àfi bí idán.
Pága mo sì kéékèèké mo yányányán kó wá máa gbọ́pẹ́ lórí àbẹ̀t. Ibi tèmi àtọkọ mi ti ń tayò ta sì ń gba owó wa lójú ọgán. Ọjọ́ wo lẹ bẹ́ mi àti ẹ̀ parí ìjà gbẹ̀yìn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pé owó oṣù wa ò gbọ́ bùkátà wa mọ́. Bàbá tún tayò kan péré bá tún bayò jẹ́ 10% iye tó yẹ ká jẹ gan ni àbẹ̀t tún san padà fún wa. Bí akúrẹ́ padà dá ọ̀bá fẹ́ wá kún yányán kó wá kàn sí mi kí n lè mú dọ́dọ̀ àwọn àwàbẹ̀t. Àbẹ̀t wà ní Liberty Junction lókè àdó nìbàdàn tàbí ẹni tó bá fẹ́ di agent wọn kó kàn sí wọn lójú òpó ayélujára www.abetng.com. ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní
08061939663.
kódà wọ́n tún san bonus fáwọn tó jẹ́ oníbàárà wọn. wo èmi ò lẹ́mìí àròyé o jẹ́ kí n dákẹ́ náà jàre.
Àwàbẹ̀t ta kò gbowó lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ torí pé bẹ́ẹ̀ tí gangan ni.
Kò sí ohun tó dàbí ìfẹ́ ṣá.
ní Design Bricks Homes and Property àwa náà mọ̀ pé fẹ́lá kọjá òfin.
La ṣe ṣàgbékalẹ̀ Love Fiesta promo lásìkò oṣù ìfẹ́ yìí.
kẹ́ ẹ̀ lè bá jàǹfààní 30% discount lórí gbogbo estate wọn tó wà níbàdàn Abẹ́òkúta Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde Ṣàgámù Òṣogbo Èkó àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. kẹ́ ẹ̀ sì má gbàgbé pé 50% discount ṣì wà lórí àwọn estate wa tó wà nílùú Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin.
Lásìkò oṣù ìfẹ́ yìí ra ilẹ̀ plọ̀tì méjì ọkọ ọmọ àfẹ́sọ́nà tàbí olólùfẹ́ rẹ kó sì gba plọ̀tì kan sí lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Bábánbárí ibẹ̀ ní ti àkànṣe àpèjẹ dinner for two fún gbogbo olólùfẹ́ tó bá sanwó ilẹ̀ wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo.
gbogbo oníbàárà tó bá wọ ọ́fíìsì Design Bricks lóṣù February yìí ni yóò tún gba special package ẹ̀bùn Valentine tá a ti ṣe lọ́jọ̀ fún yín.
Ó yá gbéra márosẹ̀ tètè wá ralẹ̀ rọrùn tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ kàn sí Design Bricks láwọn ọ́fíìsì wọn tàbí kó pe 090-393-75110.
Love Fiesta 2022 with Design Bricks ó tún ti sẹ̀ ní Design Bricks àjọṣọ àti àdéhùn bẹ́ẹ̀ o.
Shopping goes beyond mere bargaining and purchasing. If you therefore desire an awesome shopping experience, then Pollard Supermarket is the right place to visit. Pollard Supermarket, a one-stop executive retail place for foodstuffs, beverages, beauty products that include all kinds of weave-ons and cosmetics, as well as assorted drinks like wines and spirits, daily essentials, and several other household needs. Commodity prices at Pollard Supermarket are unbeatable. Seeing is believing. Pay a visit today to Pollard Supermarket at number 1 Ajibade Alade Layout, Olowokpe area, Elenushonsho Road, Iletutun, Ibadan, Nigeria. Telephone 0902-531-9832. 0902-531-9832. Pollard Supermarket, a supermarket made for you.
Ìyá bọ̀lì àǹtí, ìyá bọ̀lì ètò, ìyá bọ̀lì tèmi nìkan ṣoṣo.
Má sá mi pa.
Wetin you want?
Abeg, when you go market, I really need more Maggi chicken. Maggi chicken gangan ni o.
Ewo tún ni Maggi chicken gangan?
Na the real Maggi chicken, Maggi elediye. If you no sabi the difference, make I tell you. Dem write Maggi chicken flavor seasoning on top the pack. Maggi chicken flavor, e dey give food ogbonge taste, color and aroma wey go totori you. O ṣá mọ̀ pé ní tèmi dùn.
Oh ṣé, ìyá Risi of life.
Yes, ke. When asking for seasoning, ask for the real Maggi chicken flavor. Maggi chicken flavor gangan ní kẹ́ bèrè fún. Pẹ̀lú Maggi, ẹ ṣe oúnjẹ tó dá yàtọ̀.
Ojúlọ́ba ara Aba capsule, ìmọ́lẹ̀ ló dá òkùnkùn ò dá, Ọlọ́run má sọ wá sókùnkùn ayé. Àmín o, ojúlọ́ba ara Aba capsule, ilé-iṣẹ́ authentic clear vision ló gbé jáde.
Ìmọ́lẹ̀ dé òkùnkùn parada. Ojúlọ́ba ara Aba capsule. Ojú ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ara. Èdùmàrè má gbòde ọ̀sán lọ́wọ́ wa. Àkànṣe gbòógì tá a fi mọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ṣe fún ìtọ́jú ìmọ́lẹ̀ tí ò mọ́lẹ̀ kedere. Tàbí tó ń wò báyìí. Ojúlọ́ba ara Aba capsule. Egbògi oníkóró ni NAFDAC ìlú ló ń tẹ̀ gbà. Authentic clear vision ló ṣe é. Ó wà ní chemist àti pharmacy stores lágbègbè rẹ̀. Ẹ tún lè ríra lọ́fíìsì Authentic clear vision. Tó wà business complex. Lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Amidu Ajibade shopping complex Gate Ìbàdàn. Àǹfààní ńlá wà fún alágbàtà tó ń kó ní pálípálí. Ẹ pè 08061959663. Ojúlọ́ba ara Aba capsule. Tí o bá sí àyípadà bó o ṣe fẹ́, tètè lọ rí dókítà rẹ o.
Ojúlọ́ba ara Aba capsule, ilé-iṣẹ́ authentic clear vision ló gbé jáde.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9. In order to matter, matters of the state must matter to you.
If some people are crying that they are in darkness, they should go and hold those who vandalize the installation.
Let me say that the political
Stay tuned to politics on 32 FM 94.9.
Safa pelisizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula mo Anichaleni ko Kelize Wemaye wemodo Safa pelisizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula mo Anichaleni ko Kelize
All right, welcome back. It's still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. I've been discussing with Dr. Muideen Olatunji, the Executive Secretary of the Oyo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. We've been looking at primary healthcare centers in Oyo State. Let us look at this. Before we went on that break, we were discussing and looking at issues of the primary healthcare centers. But let me ask you this. I know government, with all the feats and all that, there might have been challenges faced by government. What are these challenges faced so far? Trying to make sure that these primary healthcare centers across wards are being optimally utilized.
Well, thank you. Initially, when you said challenges faced by government, I just laughed. I was wondering, the person that's supposed to be the last resort, if he's not has a problem, who does he run to?
But a doctor cannot cure himself. A doctor still gets ill too.
Now, getting into perspective, what you actually mean by challenges. It's been identified, and we worked around resolving it, and that has to be with the engagement of the people to hone government activities and programs, so that we can have maximal cooperation. In Yoruba parlance, they say this thing belongs to me is quite different from this thing belongs to us. What belongs to me, I take care of it and I hold it up personally. But what belongs to us, I think anybody could have done it and nobody ended up doing it. So we want people to collaborate with the government, be like a watchdog and be like a partner in progress. If we provide facilities, who is going to supervise and create kind of oversight function on it? For instance, this renovation and upgrade that we are going for the 351 facilities across the state, there are some facilities that had been built. When we got there and wanted to renovate them, we felt that by renovating them, it will be substandard because the land space and the size of the facility is small compared to our vision. We have three types of PHC facility. We have type 1, type 2, and type 3. Your state has adopted type 3, which is the optimum, which is the highest. is what the state wants. We don't want
That's
to go.
the standard.
That's the highest standard. We don't want to go for type 1, 2. We opted for type 3. Now, to go to type 3, we have a minimum of about 13 space facilities in it. And these are the existing facility that has about 2 or 3 room facilities. And you want to expand, there's no space. And government, by culture and tradition, doesn't actually buy lands. They want people to have engagement, or they take over the land. Now, we started talking to the member of the communities. So some community responded very well. And they said, oh, you want to do something nice like they did for us?
Something beneficial for
to the community. Yeah. Okay, we made land available. There's a particular man around Okeadu. Actually, he released his father's house for us to demolish.
Okeadu is somewhere around Itutaba.
Yeah, when you're coming from Gates.
Yeah, NTA Road.
No, not NTA. Across. It's not NTA Road. It's across. Opposite NTA Road. When you leave Gates, you are coming to. You want to drive to this hospital. I forgot the road leads to Arimo.
Okay.
Now that road, that's where Okeadu is. The man relinquished his father's house for us to be able to expand the facility. That is resolving some of the challenges the government will have. We want to do something. We have a challenge. We have a problem. We don't have land. How do we do it? If the community says no, there's no way we can acquire it. So the man, after consulting with him, he said, no, fine, let it go. If it's going to be for the communities. And it worked.
Did you compensate him?
Well, let me leave down half the grid, but we don't want to buy. He's
not selling, but he gave it to you.
Yes, don't let me discuss it now.
Okay.
Comment will come in a different way, which is going to appreciate. Okay. Not even only that one again. In Okeodo, the Akande family, they are the one that even gave us a space that we are currently using as a health facility. We don't have a government-owned facility in that ward. And now we are looking for you to do this expansion and rebuilding. And the family came forward and said, oh, the whole of our father's house, we want to relinquish it to you. Initially, there was a clause, okay, you want to pay. I said, no, government don't pay. If you want to give it to you, give it to us, we'll recognize and appreciate you. And the last agreement I have with them now is that, okay, we are releasing the whole property to you. Let the government take it over and fashion it and connect to be a government hospital, as long as it serves the purpose for the community. Those are lofty strides that people have been taking, and those are the people of note, people of worthy, people that can be emulated in the society. Now, so we've been seeing that one in many areas that we meet you. In some areas, some community put money together and purchase the land and give it to us.
Okay. Now you are talking of it. It seems land now is a big challenge, but you're surmounting.
Serious, we are surmounting it.
You've mentioned places in urban centers. Now, let's look at places in rural areas. With a case study of a place in Egbeda local government. They call the place Benku village. Benku is an agrarian area too, along Egbeda. There used to be this primary school, which a former military administrator, I think Raji Rasaki. There's also a new university around there, a private-owned university there. However, the primary healthcare center there is one, and you have to walk about 2 kilometers. Because I've been there, I went there myself. I saw for myself. It was so dilapidated, and people walk all the way down 2 kilometers. They get to the main road, and now get towards somewhere like Adegbayi to go and get medical care. So in areas where you have these rural settings, have you beamed your searchlight into these areas? For example, I gave you Benku. There's a place called Isioye on your way to Iseyin. There's Isioye there before Fashola Farm Settlement. You also have a place around the Ido area, Elenu Shosho area. Have you been able to look at these rural areas and beam your searchlight in making sure that these primary healthcare centers there are up and doing?
When I told you that we are working based on what structure, you should know that we've beamed our light to every nooks and crannies of this state. If I say, I'm working on a local government basis, they might have lost focus on one particular corner or remote area or the other. But as I said, we are not working based on local government alone. We are working based on words. and community settlement where people is constricted within a particular ward. And I've just told you now that at least one functional PHC will belong to a particular ward.
At Benku, it seems not to be functional.
Benku, it belongs to a ward.
Yeah.
And now go and do search better now. You will see that there's a health facility provided for that community. Benku might be a community within the ward. There might be more than 10 communities, 10 settlements, or even 20 settlements in a ward. Now, and one center is going to be given to them. Let's assume, just for the sake of discussion now, there's another community within that one called Olatunji. If you now say, oh, you are, because you know Olatunji, and from the road that you walk to Olatunji about 3 kilometers, and you see a facility there, but within that same ward where Olatunji belongs, Benku belongs there. And that one's about 10 kilometers away from that, or 5 kilometers away from that there. So when you see that particular facility in the area of 2 kilometer stretch, you would think it's far remote from the other one. So you now say within that same ward, I should put in every community. The concept of PHC and ward system is this, that if you want to go and assess care and you don't have money to transport yourself, you can trek, and we have a radius of 5 kilometer radius before you can access a health facility. That's informed our siting of facilities. So wherever we site facilities, every community linked to that facility cannot have more than 5 kilometer stretch to walk into that facility. And there are other wards that even have more than one facility within them, which had been built before. But now we say, oh, whether one has 2, whether one has 3, it's irrelevant now. Let's make sure that at least there's one in each of the wards, so people can actually utilize and we can improve access to the facility because it's been drawn closer to them. So, and there's no ward that's more than 10 kilometers in a stretch. No.
All right. Looking at word by word, according to the templates and the plan, aside political influence and political leanings, these wards, these locals, how often do you sensitize them? How often do you engage with them? Because by interaction with some of them during the week, they don't seem to know the difference between the primary healthcare centers by the government and mission clinics. So there are issues. Many things have come up, which we'll still discuss here. So we put the record straight and know where the problem is from. So how often do you engage with the locals? How often do you sensitize them? How often do you have these discussions with them, aside political discussions?
Thank you. I even saying for me, I'm not a politician, I'm a technocrat. So I can't have political discussion. I only have broad professional discussion with anybody that I'm engaging with. Now, I told you that when we want to start, we did our due diligence and a dutiful mapping out. Yeah. And there's a national health law that was signed into law in 2014 by President Jonathan. From that law, each state of the federation is supposed to evolve a primary care board and be able to put PHC under one governance structure. And that's why we have primary care board across the state of the federation or development agencies. Yeah. And one of the working tools that we have there is to go into the full interpretation of the PHC, the concept of PHC, which will be community driven. And what we did when we started with this ward structure and the innovation is that there's another program which is called the Basic Health Care Provision Funds that's meant to strengthen our PHC services across the country and in our state in particular. So what we did in our state was that we resuscitated the ward development committees. Okay. In each of the ward, there are committees. So we facilitated the rejuvenation of those, because those ward committees were in existence before but not so functional. So we rejuvenated the committees in each of the wards, and they had their chairman, they had their vice chairman, they had their officers, they have their the treasurer. Now we made the officer in charge of our home primary health care facility in that particular ward to be the secretary to the committee. So that creates an interface between the government and the people. And if you say you are a committee leader now and you live in a particular ward, and we identify, even in some of the wards, it is the bailiff that becomes the chairman of the ward development committees. In most of the place, we have a good opinion leader in that community, that the community chose themselves. And this selection are devoid of political influence. it is the people that choose on their own.
Okay.
Even when the governor discussed me some time ago, was asking me about these development committees that we constituted. I know some people were going to him that they want to be the chairman committee, and invited me. I said, no, sorry, Your Excellency, I will not constitute that. That we don't want to make it based on political considerations. It has to be purely people driven. What do people want themselves?
Community based.
That even when this government leaves or go tomorrow, next 10, 20 years, they won't say it's because this one belongs to one particular political party is why we choose him. It's because people love him. He can belong to any party he likes. It's none of my business. He can become in a party, B party, C party, or M party. It's not my business. But the people identify him. They see him as a motivator, as a driver in the community, as somebody they can trust, and is going to help them to drive the process. So such persons, we accepted them. I didn't appoint them. Committee appointed them themselves. The only person I say I appointed is my secretary, which is my officer. Now take the minute of them. So that creates an interface between us and the community. So it even gives them the opportunity to help us to oversee the run of the facilities. They come from time to time, they see something wrong, even the funding. They are even putting down to this facility from the fund we get from the federal government. They have an eyes into what goes into it and what are the activities that we are going to be doing. Okay. And we had a training for them, not just put them on the field like that, like just being in the maze, not know what to do. We engage them, all the chairmen across the 351 wards. We give them orientations. We train them what and what to do. We want from zone to zone, and they know what and what needs to be done, and they see themselves, and we have their dossier. We have their names, their phone number. If you want to contact them at any short notice, even this renovation we are doing now, some of them are even actually monitoring it. Okay. When there's something is not going right, they call us. In so many communities, let me shock you. When the contractors were even working in some community are not feeling comfortable with it, they stopped them. They said until you get back to the board and let everybody come and talk to you before and do something. That's community ownership. And people actually own this thing. And so far, so good. We'll be having positive vibes from all this.
From them. Okay, it's still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. I'll open the phone lines very soon. Let's get to hear your thoughts. How is the primary healthcare center in your area? Is it functional? Do you use it? Do they treat you well? We'll get to open them. Remember, the numbers 0705 5,949 and 0809 7,949. My guest is Dr. Muideen Olatunji, the Executive Secretary of your State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Now, looking at why I asked of your board's interface with the people, lately, something happened lately where people went to a clinic in a community for them to have vaccines and all that, and apparently these vaccines were not well stored, and they were just exposed, and they gave these vaccines to kids, and one of the kids eventually passed on, and someone very close to the house here. And then when questions started popping up, they said it's a primary healthcare center, a primary healthcare center. And then I want to ask, do primary healthcare centers get their supplies, medical supplies, from a reliable source? Some say some of these vaccines were expired. We want to know the true position of things. Do they have... what is an expired vaccine and what is not an expired vaccine, for our listeners' sake?
Thank you very much for the issue you raised. Actually, I'm well aware of the incident in question. Let me clear the local street. There's no way you can't buy vaccine off the shelf. And the only route where you get vaccine is from the federal government, through the support of some world organizations like the Gavi or WHO and UNICEF, cooperate together to make it work and supply to the federal government of Nigeria. From the federal government of Nigeria is sent to the states, which means the primary care board receives such vaccine. And there are protocols we follow in vaccine safety and vaccine administration. We have a standard chain, co-chain pathway from the point of manufacture of the vaccine to the last point of utilization. The cold chain needs to be maintained, and we always ensure that there are protocol we follow. It's a standard protocol we follow. You don't breach that. Now saying that vaccine, no vaccine that is expired will leave match my word, will leave the Central Coastal, either in Abuja, Lagos, or in Ibadan. Nobody will push such out. Okay. So the issue we're talking about in the vaccine is not an expired vaccine.
Okay.
Now, again, we have something we call the vaccine via monitor. Apart from the fact that we've done our due diligence to make sure that the coaching is stringently complied with, there's a code on the vaccine via.
Yes.
If the vaccine is going beyond the stage we're supposed to use it, it will show you, it will tell you itself. It's on the via. Okay. It's automatic. It cannot be manipulated.
Okay.
It is automatic. It's on the vaccine. So before you even administer, you will check whether the VVM is the one that you're supposed to use. So we have the categorization of this VVM into 4 clusters. We have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4.
Okay.
We are admonishing to use it when it's in stage 1 or at stage 2. By the time you get into stage 3, we admonish don't use it because it's of no use.
It should be discarded.
No, don't discard. Return it back to us.
Okay.
It can be used in some area when they don't know why. I will explain what I mean by that one for you. Okay. But it's still safety, my baby. We don't want to gamble. Don't use stage 3 because we don't want to gamble. Gamble in the sense that my vision is not so sharp. I'm using glasses. Your vision is perfectly clear.
Okay.
Now, when I look at the via, I'm reading stage 2 because I have obscured vision. But because you have a sharp vision, when you read it, you read stage 3. You know, the two of us differs now, but somebody is right.
Yes.
But now, for the sake of this discussion, you are the one that is right because it's on stage 2. Now, I read it as stage 3. And we said you can give in stage 1 and 2. We are not encouraging you to give in stage 3. Now, for me that I read it to be in stage 2, I will go and give it. Are you following my discussion now?
Yeah, I'm following.
Because that's my judgment.
Yes.
Although I'm wrong.
Okay.
But those that manufacture it, they know that there will be somebody like you and I, or worse still, there will be somebody like me who has an impaired vision. So it now comes to the level of the safety margin.
Okay.
If I give it at stage 3, what happens? No, nothing. There's no serious fatality or side effect that will occur to you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But the only thing that will occur is this: I've deceived the mother. I've deceived the caregiver of that child that is being vaccinated. How do I mean that I've deceived? You came to the hospital to come and get vaccinated with the mindset you are going to get your child vaccinated. And once you are vaccinated, you are protected against particular infection that we are trying to protect you on now. Let's assume for the sake of this discussion measles or polio. And I give it to you. So you went on with the first impression that you are perfectly protected because I give it on stage 3.
Okay.
But unfortunately, you are not protected because the vaccine itself has been denatured.
Okay.
It's only tantamount to me giving you ordinary water. And you have the impression that you have been protected.
What if the denatured vaccine reacts to the body
it
of
cannot.
the
I will explain to you how
Okay.
it cannot. Now, that I'm talking about the safety margin.
Okay.
If a drug is going to be prescribed to you, we're going to consider who is going to administer the drug.
Okay.
There are some drugs that is only a doctor that can prescribe.
Yes.
And supervise the administration. Because why? It's very, very risky because they have a very narrow safety margin.
Okay.
For instance, I shouldn't mention the name of your lad like a digoxin now. If I give it to go and give you and you start using it at home, I want to kill you. Because if anything goes wrong, there's no way you can counter it and you are dead. If I say administer 0.25 milligram and you make a mistake and take 5 milligram, if care is not taking in ICU, you are gone. Now, if I say take paracetamol, take 2 tablets, and you are overzealous, you take 4 tablets or 5 tablets. You might have a little bit of discomfort, but nothing will happen to you.
Okay.
You could see the safety margin between the two now.
Yes.
Only one tablet, 0.2 to 5. It can cause serious. Now, who can administer that one? A trained doctor or a trained nurse will supervise you to be administered. Mm-hmm. The one, we call it over-the-counter drugs.
Yeah.
You are so careless. Instead of buying 2 tablets of paracetamol, you bought 4 tablets and say, no, that's what I want to use and you use it. Before it can become effective or start damaging you, take a long time. You can see that safety margin because we know someone like you will be overzealous. Someone like me will be so careless. I can go and buy it over the counter. So they allow people to buy down because why? The safety margin is wide. Now, coming home to the issue of the vaccine that we're talking about now, we said the vaccine can be administered by some different cadres of health workers. The community health extension worker, the community health officers, the community nurse, or nurse midwife. Not any, no, it must be by the doctor. Now, not only that again, when we go from house to house, we administer polio vaccine. You are a journalist. You are not a doctor, you are not a health worker. We can train you on how to administer polio vaccine. And you will administer polio vaccine. If you go now, I will give you instruction, don't administer more than 2 drops in a child's mouth. You are so jittery, you are so your muscle is overactive. Instead of pressing for 2 drops, you dropped 4 drops. What will happen to that child? Nothing. The child will just take it.
The body
excess,
accepts the only.
He won't take what he needs. The only is wasted.
Okay.
And it goes away.
Okay. Sorry. Let me cut you short there and ask you this. Okay, anybody can administer that kind of vaccine.
That's only one
kind of vaccine.
I've just got an example. They're not all of them.
That kind of vaccine. That is the polio vaccine.
Because it's a drop.
Because it's a drop. However, how many people can read the content or whatever is on that container to know if the vaccine is still valid or denatured?
That was what I explained to you now. I said the fact, and I get an example. Follow my argument through very well. I said because you are not a trained person, you are not a professional. I see entrust you to administer that. It means ab initio, I have a very wide safety margin that I know nothing. Even when you make a mistake, it has no consequence on the person being given it to. That is one. Two, the vaccine that we administer, they are useful, they are potent when they are well preserved. And the active ingredient is still active. And that why I talk about the cold chain system. It was manufactured in Netherlands. And the temperature under which it was manufactured was 2 degrees centigrade. It has a saving margin between 2 degrees centigrade to 8 degrees centigrade. From that point to I want to go and use it at Okerete in Shaki, or I want to go and use it at the name of the village you talk about in Egeda? Benku in Egeda. From the point he left in Netherlands to Egeda, that range should not change.
It must retain that same temperature.
That range of between 2 and 8.
And 8 degrees centigrade.
If it fluctuates, it gets to 3, it's still okay. 5 is okay. But it wants to go up to 9, it has been denatured. Now, that safety margin, I will ensure that my coaching system is able to preserve that.
Thank you. Now, those primary healthcare centers that are supposed to follow this cold chain method, what if they, error
yes,
occurs?
Error occurs. I'm coming to that one. I want to paint a picture for you how it goes. I will now go to the stage of the error. Stage of the error now is this. I've told you that's the range you're supposed to maintain. And in my facilities, even when you leave it from one thing to the other, you can transfer it to where it can be preserved. We have different types of cold chain equipment that we use to move those vaccines about. But you are such a very careless person. And when I say this is what you're supposed to do, when you lift it out, don't leave more than 10 seconds or 1 minute. Carelessness, you leave for 5 minutes. What will happen? I mentioned to you, there's something called vaccine via monitor attached to each of the vaccine. And I said there are 4 stages. And now I gave you an example of misreading the stages. Now, what will happen to those vaccines is this. By the time you get to stage 4, the vaccine that will need to have an accurate ingredients in it to be administered, it becomes a useless vaccine.
It becomes denatured.
It don't become nature. When it becomes nature, it becomes like ordinary water. So it will not offer you any protection. So when you administer it, you have only wasted my vaccine because you made it wasted. You have wasted the time you've used in giving thing. You have wasted my logistics that I give to you to go and administer the vaccine. You have wasted the time of that caregiver that brought the child to the hospital to be vaccinated. Then you have deceived the country or the state. When I say, have achieved 80% coverage in polio vaccination, unfortunately, I've not achieved 80%. 10% of it were done wrongly, and I'll get a wrong impression. So that one will give me a false impression that everybody is
protected.
So what should
so
be
it's
the
not good for me.
implication to such a
The implication is that the infection that I want to curtail will not be curtailed.
So what punitive
say, like we were taught in medicine, never say never in medicine. I won't say it's not possible that it will occur in any of our own structured formal sector, but it's very, very rare. Because why? We have our safety equipment that we use. We have the safety boxes that we use. But anything can happen to human being. It's why human being is going to run it. Now, when such is found in any of our personnel in our facility, that person will be queried. Even there have been instances we have to remove some of them from programs.
Okay.
That they are no longer fit to run the programs. If you did it today, you are warned.
It's perpetual.
God bless you. And we see, even if it's the first time, and we see a serious lackadaisical or incompetence on your path, it means you are not worthy. You are not trainable. So you are discarded off.
Okay.
But we are not the only one doing this thing now. The one you mentioned is not in a government hospital.
That's what I wanted to ask you now. We're going to the difference between mission hospitals in communities and primary healthcare centers.
Like you said, the mission hospitals are owned by the missionaries.
Yeah.
Race. And the essence why we collaborate with them is because we want to expand the cost of access to some of our services.
Okay.
Again, in this part of the world, we are highly religious. Some people, until the pastor tells them, do this before they can listen and do it, or imam says this before they can listen and do it, no matter how much you tell them. So if we are now preaching to people, we want everybody to access vaccination, we want every child to be protected, and we see opportunity in a mission or hospital or facility that they say they have minimum requirements that they can actually help us to propagate this and administer most of our services. There's nothing wrong in working with them. And that's why we co-opt some of them. But we don't just co-opt, we train, we guide them.
Okay.
We give them the do's and the don'ts. Now, presume that they are going to follow religiously. Some, like that case you mentioned now, fell short of the expected standard.
Okay.
Because by my findings, the vaccine that was administered was on stage 3, which naturally we shouldn't have even that. It doesn't mark my word and watch what I say clearly. It does not create fatality in the child.
Okay.
But it is a waste.
A waste.
On the presumption that the child has been protected.
Okay.
Because maybe the incident occurred, definitely normal in any way it occur in the country. That's our standard protocol procedure. We must investigate. We actually commenced our investigation and we made some findings.
Okay.
We'll be able to go immediately. We activated the IEFI response team and all the partners that cannot even be compromised. Partner from the World Health Organization, UNICEF, NPSDA, all of them, NCDC, have mobilized all of them. And we've been to the field immediately.
Okay.
And we made some findings that told us that, the unfortunate incident is not likely from our vaccine.
Okay.
It was just a coincidence of what occurred. Okay. And we even reached out to the parents of the diseased child, we commiserate, and I've made a promise that I'm going to get to the root of the whole thing. Okay. If it's in another clime, they will insist that because you want to clear all the doubting fear, let's conduct an autopsy on the person that died. Even without the autopsy, the evidence we have now shows that it's not likely from the vaccine. Even most of the other doctors that attended to the kid, we've seen them. We've got some statement from all of them, which is our protocol. We are not punishing anybody so seriously, but we are going to rebuke and correct people to be careful.
So that it doesn't occur.
It doesn't occur,
again.
God bless you. It doesn't occur again. And people don't ascribe what even we have lesson for parents as well.
So parents shouldn't misconstrue this for this.
God bless you.
Yeah.
And then children, this is a general advice for everybody. Children are like chicken. Forget my word. They look so energetic and agile when they move around, but they are so feeble.
Yes.
You see a child playing, jumping right now. You come back on the next 1 hour, he has changed to something else. You'll be wondering, how long has the child fallen sick? And to be honest, it's not more than 30 minutes ago. That's how feeble they are. You can, because you've been through the thick and thin, when a disease condition occurs to you now, an infection occurs to you, you can weather the storm a little bit and waggle it through. A child is not well prepared for that. When something occurs to them and we don't promptly act to take them to appropriate hospital to be managed,
it can be fatal. So I want this opportunity to plead with parents. When we see any sign, we need to have a very high index of suspicion in our children. When they show different sign that doesn't even connote normal thing, or they complain to us, they talk, don't say they are lying. Take their words serious. And a child has been very, very active, playing, disturbing, always fighting, now became very quiet in a place. We should be careful something is wrong with that child.
Let's pick this
and
call.
We need to go to the appropriate hospital.
Okay, hello, good morning. Okay, you're calling the wrong number. 0705 500949 0809 7949. The primary healthcare centers in your area, how functional are they? Are you making good use of them? That's the first thing. Are you making good use of them? Let's get your thoughts, and you get to share with us. My guest has been Dr. Muideen Olatunji, and we've been looking at this, and we'll see how we get to make good use of our primary healthcare centers in Oyo State, especially. If you are in any other state listening to this program, you can also reach out to your primary healthcare center in your state and make sure that you make good use of them. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, this is the Podium. It's not any other program. So if you want to make your call, just wait for the right program when you call in. That's that for the dear listener. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, my name is Emmanuel from Ibadan.
All right, Emmanuel.
Yes, I greet our guests for today. Well done, and really appreciate their efforts to making sure our health facilities in the state is working perfectly. And as well, I would like to commend Governor Shima for what he has been doing so far. He has been doing well, and the fact is, he is a promising keeper. I remember they promised so many things, and actually the primary health care center is one of them. And in my area, I came from Oyo local government. So currently I'm in Ibadan. I was home some weeks ago. I saw the development in our primary health care center. There is one at Odi Market. There's another one at Modiki. There's another one at Kiloko. The development there has been rapid and it has been functioning very well. Therefore, I commend their efforts. Say thank you, and the God continue to strengthen you more.
Okay, thank you for calling. 0705 500949 0809 7949. You have any question for our guest, or you want to tell us how functional your primary healthcare center is in your area? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, John.
My name is Sulaiman Sherif. I'm calling from
okay.
Mr. CHIKE, kudos to you, well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
And your guest over there. Firstly, I want to commend the Oyo State government under the admission of governors in Nakide. The reason why is that during the electionary in 2019, during the debate that he did for all those aspirants, Governor promised that he will renovate all the primary health center and 351 wards. And to share with you, in my own local government, especially in my own ward, in other issues in Ibadan, Governor really did wonderful well. He renovated it and he did necessary things. The reason why is that last year December, my wife gave back to that hospital, that's the hospital center, and I can see the policy is there. What Governor promised, and he is doing it.
All right.
And I pray may God help Governor Shimajide to succeed.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're live on the Podium.
Hello.
Okay. Hello, this is the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Okay. 0705 500949 and 0809 7949. While calls are coming in, Doctor, I want to quickly ask you this. This week, we had issues of Lassa Fever in Oyo State, and the Commissioner for Health came to confirm these cases. And even out of the 4 cases, I learned 3 doctors two doctors and one other person was involved, and they passed on. So Lassa Fever is a threat right now in your state, as it is. And then how do we, as citizens of this state and even as Nigerians, take precautionary measures of Lassa Fever? Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Oyo.
Your name, please?
My name is Lekon.
Okay, Lekon from Oyo. Let's have your thoughts.
Hello.
Quickly. Go ahead, Lekon.
Yeah, our local government health center here in Oyo. Whenever your wife is pregnant and you want to register for antenatal, you're requesting for high amount of money for registry and in real world. You know that our government is not even it down for them like that. They don't do their own. I feel that we can tell them to do the right thing. The money is too much that we are paying in their own.
Okay, your point has been made.
Local government area.
Okay, thank you. Lekon, he says they pay so much to register for antenatal.
Yes, the point is making may not be far from the truth, and that's to be with human nature. It's a fact that some individuals, some of our staff, could be so mischievous, and they exploit the people. And if there are little gaps for them to exploit, they exploit to the maximum and down to rip people off. And this has been critically looked into. Very soon, how this thing will become a thing of the past.
Okay.
How do I mean is that when people come to the facility, they will tell you, oh, sorry, we don't have cards, and you have to pay for cards. They use that one to exploit them.
Some even tell you to bring candles, that you should pay for cotton wool, pay for
no,
syringe,
all those ones you can't, nobody even asks you to do that. Where I'm going is
they
this.
still do that.
Listen, where I'm going is this. I said, you create a little bit of window, opportunity. They will exploit it.
They will exploit it.
Let me give an example. Through one of the partners, we are supplying them with anti-malaria drugs. We're supposed to be giving free of charge. But because the number supplied will not go for all the facilities, only few facilities get that supply, some don't. To those that even got it, will not hide under the auspices of people that are not getting. After you supply it to them free of charge, they collect money from people and say, no, we are buying it for you.
Oh, okay.
Fine. Let everybody do everything they want to do now. Very soon, the next week, before the end of this month, there will be procurement of drugs in large quantity, which is now going to be on monthly basis.
Okay.
Now, woe betide you if somebody comes to your facility. You say the reason why you are charging because there's no drug. If there's no drug, don't give them. The government will now, if the government has now provided funds to do that one now, on monthly basis, the fund is already in the ground now, which you are going to devolve to that. And let me now even tell you that even in all our facilities now, all those cards, tracking card, everything, we provided for them. We'll be tied that officer that says, Baba, Kosi, Kadiwa. Every avenue they are linking to exploit people.
You are blocking the loophole.
God bless you. So I'm not going to say whether what the man said is right or wrong.
Or is a possibility.
It's a possibility, so which I know the loopholes are there. Let's book all the loopholes. In the next 1-2 months, call me back and let me get a report from anywhere that this thing is being done and see if that person will not lose your job.
Let's look at Lassa Fever quickly before we wrap it up on this segment of the podium. Lassa Fever, what are those precautionary measures we need to take to avoid this disease that is rearing up its ugly head?
Well, thank you for bringing that one up. And like Raleigh said, what matters is the precautionary things that we need to do as preventive measures. To say that it's not here, we are deceiving ourselves. It's already here. We had the outbreak in Iwajua local government. That's where it started from. And the state team, led by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Bodoladipo, led the team, in which I was there. All of us went there to clearly respond. After that, again, what did I do again is to respond, to activate the rapid response team across local government areas. So we're able to start sensitization, awareness creation, and health education to all the people of the communities. Not only that one, again, we've activated our surveillance officers to see the cases, and when this is signal, activate and notify us so that we can clearly respond. The government has even pre-positioned drugs into hotspots and most of our facilities so that when you get cases, people will respond quickly. And then even although isolation center has been primed for them now. In any case, we'll be promptly moved to there, and as well as the University College Hospital. So they have been, all those processes have been activated. But the thing people need to do is this: our own preventive measures. What's the cause of this Lassa fever? It's the fact that we know that there's a rat that carries this virus. That rat does not even live in your house, on my house. It lives in the bush. But because of you and I, we want to farm, we want to build new houses, we go to those bushes and we clear them or put fire in the bush. When we do that, the rat will leave his own natural abode and come to our own homes and stay with us. And what do? They come to our food items. When they visit your food item to eat, they can defecate and urinate there. And if you hit such a food item, straight away you're going to get Lassa fever. And what do we do to prevent that one? Make sure all our food are sealed in airtight containers. We don't leave anything where any rat can get to. We can, rat traps can be put in various houses, even when we have even in farms, in rural communities, where we keep in the barn that we keep our yams everything. We can, there are something that we design that can be put there that become important for the rats to get to those barn. So it discourages the rats from getting. So when we can do things that would separate us from the rats, we'll be a little bit, more than 80 or 90% protected.
What are the symptoms of Lassa fever? In case we
have
people who
that's
are
the funnest thing. The symptoms they are going to see is like you're having ordinary malaria.
Okay.
You have the fever, which is a common thing. You can have malaise. Sorry, I'm using medical word. You can have maybe discomfort in your body, the joint pain, the muscle aching.
Regular malaria symptoms.
Something like that.
Okay.
When you start having bleeding from your orifices, bleeding from either the nose, the mouth, or the hair, it's getting to the extreme condition. But the first thing you are seeing malaria. So a patient comes to you and he's thinking he's having malaria. Don't treat any malaria just like a malaria. Take every malaria like a very great cause for suspicion of Lassa until proven otherwise.
Okay.
And that means you have to obtain your own standard protocol. Look at the case you mentioned now. Those doctors got a patient that they never knew had Lassa, came with a complaint, and they need to have surgical intervention, which they did. That means that will bring them in contact with the blood.
Direct contact with
the blood.
Yeah.
And what happened to the two doctors? They got infected. Unfortunately, they could not make it.
They died.
Even the nurses that attended to them in the chacha suffered the same one. We've lost one of them already. And it's as bad as that. So those are health workers. Where we're trying to say now, even private health facilities should please be very, very careful when they attend to patients like this.
So what do we need to do now? Do we need to start wearing gloves?
No, you don't need to wear gloves. You don't need to
mask off.
Do not mask off. Just make sure we live in an hygienic environment.
What if you are walking on the road or you greet a friend and the person has it and you come in contact? How do you transmit? How is it transmitted?
Now we promote we promote hand washing hygiene, which is entirely what we're doing during coronavirus infection. We have not said we should stop doing those ones. Even before corona infection, we have already been promoting hand washing hygiene.
Yes.
That if each time you move around, you come to this work now, you'll be touching the console. You are going downstairs, you touch the rails. When you get there, wash your hand properly. Once you wash the hand, you wash a lot of things off your hands. When you greet any person, greet and shake when it is necessary. And now, good enough, thanks to coronavirus.
We knuckle up or we elbow up.
Can you not see? Even when you can't do that one again, you can go around with your hand sanitizer. You've taken 2 or 3 hands, put your hand sanitizer, and you are good to go. So if we can take all those precautions, we'll have been at least 80% protected from getting those infections.
Have you heard that? It is highly transmissible. But you know what? You can avoid it. Thank you, Dr. Muhyiddin Olatunji, for featuring on the podium. The podium continues, and what are we looking at? How is the fuel situation in your area? Do you have fuel in your car? In your generator? Do you have lights too? We'll get more of that on the second segment of the podium. Stay tuned. Don't go away. I am CHIKE OGBOGU.
Safa saphela isizwe simnyama iwasafa
isizwe saba
yavula moya
alitsheleni inkokheli zethu
wemaye wemodo safa saphela
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Ìyábọ̀lì àǹtí, ìyábọ̀lì ètò, ìyábọ̀lì tèmi nìkan ṣoṣo.
Ọ̀sà mi pa. Wetin you want?
Abeg, when you go market, I really need more Maggi chicken. Maggi chicken gangan ni o.
Èwo tún ni Maggi chicken gangan?
Na the real Maggi chicken. Maggi ẹlẹ́dìyẹ. If you no sabi the difference, make I tell you. Dem write Maggi chicken flavour seasoning on top the pack. Maggi chicken flavour, e dey give food ogbonge taste, colour and aroma wey go totori you. O ṣá mọ̀ pé ní tèmi dùn.
O ṣé ìyá Risi of life.
Yes, ke. When asking for seasoning, ask for the real Maggi chicken flavour. Maggi chicken flavour gangan ní kẹ́ bèrè fún. Pẹ̀lú Maggi, ẹ ṣe oúnjẹ tó dá yàtọ̀.
The Redeemers College of Technology and Management, RECTEM, a most sought-after award-winning polytechnic situated at the Redemption Camp, Ogun State, invites all applicants for the 2021-2022 full-time and part-time admissions into the following accredited programs at the national diploma and levels: computer science, science laboratory technology, computer engineering technology, electrical electronics engineering technology, civil engineering technology, architectural technology, estate management and valuation, quantity surveying, business administration and management, and accountancy. To apply, visit our website on www.rectem.edu.ng or call 0808-459-0371, 0808-459-0371, or 0813-9509-494, 0813-9509-494. Rectem, raising champions.
Kò sí tó dàbí ìfẹ́ ṣá.
Ní Design Bricks Homes and Property, àwa náà mọ̀ pé fẹ́lá kò já òfin.
La ṣe ṣàgbékalẹ̀ Love Fiesta promo lásìkò oṣù ìfẹ́ yìí.
Kẹ́ ẹ lè bá jàǹfààní 30% discount lórí gbogbo estate wọn tó wà níbàdàn, Abẹ́òkúta, Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde, Ṣàgámù, Òṣogbo, Èkó àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Kẹ́ ẹ sì má gbàgbé pé 50% discount ṣì wà lórí àwọn estate wa tó wà nílùú Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin.
Lásìkò oṣù ìfẹ́ yìí, ra ilẹ̀ plọ̀tì méjì ọkọ, ọmọ, àfẹ́sọ́nà tàbí olólùfẹ́ rẹ kó sì gba plọ̀tì kan sí lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Bábánbárí ibẹ̀ ní ti àkànṣe àpèjẹ dinner for two fún gbogbo olólùfẹ́ tó bá sanwó ilẹ̀ wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo.
Gbogbo oníbàárà tó bá wọ ọ́fíìsì Design Bricks lóṣù February yìí ni yóò tún gba special package ẹ̀bùn Valentine tá a ti ṣe lọ́jọ̀ fún yín.
Ó yá gbéra márosẹ̀ tètè wá ra lẹ̀ rọrùn tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Kàn sí Design Bricks láwọn ọ́fíìsì wọn tàbí kó pe 090-393-75110.
Love Fiesta 2022 with Design Bricks. Ó tún ti sẹ̀ ní Design Bricks. Àjọṣọ àti àdéhùn bẹ́ o.
Kúlùkùlù sẹ́ òjò tí bá lu ẹ̀sẹ̀ wọ̀wọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin aráàlú Ìbàdàn àti gbogbo agbègbè rẹ̀ ẹ kú àmójúbà ètò tí ilé ìjọsìn No More War Prayer Mountain gbé kalẹ̀ níbi tí wòlíì Caleb Olúládé bàbá AK-47 yóò ti máa fọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run bọ́ gbogbo ènìyàn lórí afẹ́fẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀bẹ̀ àdúrà. Ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ bàbá AK-47 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday táago 9:30 alẹ́ bá ti lù òní wà bákan náà mọ́ lórúkọ Jésù.
Ìyábọ̀lì àǹtí, ìyábọ̀lì ètò, ìyábọ̀lì tèmi nìkan ṣoṣo.
Ọ̀sà mi pa. Wetin you want?
Abeg, when you go market, I really need more Maggi chicken. Maggi chicken gangan ni o.
Èwo tún ni Maggi chicken gangan?
Na the real Maggi chicken. Maggi ẹlẹ́dìyẹ. If you no sabi the difference, make I tell you. Dem write Maggi chicken flavour seasoning on top the pack. Maggi chicken flavour, e dey give food ogbonge taste, colour and aroma wey go totori you. O ṣá mọ̀ pé ní tèmi dùn.
O ṣé ìyá Risi of life.
Yes, ke. When asking for seasoning, ask for the real Maggi chicken flavour. Maggi chicken flavour gangan ní kẹ́ bèrè fún. Pẹ̀lú Maggi, ẹ ṣe oúnjẹ tó dá yàtọ̀.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi báwo ni o ṣe wá.
Bá a ṣe ń bojú wẹ̀yìn tá à ń rí yín ló ń wú wa lórí. Ẹ̀yin lẹ wà ń bẹ̀ táwa fi ń dẹmọ fakọsí milẹ̀ngbẹ̀ dábìrà. Ìtẹ̀lé àti àròtì yín lójúpọ̀ ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ wa gbogbo lọ́pá ìtẹ̀síwájú wa. Ẹ̀yin tí a lórí Facebook àrí yẹn dúró re. Ẹ̀yin tí Instagram ẹ gbẹ́yì. Lórí Twitter ẹ wálẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin tí YouTube ẹ fòró. Wíwà ń bẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ṣeyebíye sí wa. Kílẹ̀ yín tẹ̀ ń gbé gànà wòrán dúró dè. Ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láwọn ojúpọ̀ ayélujára wa gbogbo pẹ̀lú 32 FM 949 Ìbàdàn. 32 FM 949 Ìbàdàn. Àdúpẹ́ o, iyì yín pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa bí iyanrìn òkun. Ó pọ̀ yẹ́yẹ́.
Aṣọ pọ̀ tó yìí.
Ta ló mọlúwa ọ̀gá mà tún ti pawọ̀dà gẹ́gẹ́ bí aláṣọ àrà o. Ta ló mọlúwa ètò kan àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ máa ń jẹ̀gbádùn níkànnì adẹ́rìn-pòṣónú 32 FM 94.9 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àìkú Sunday láago 2:30 sí aago 3:00 ọ̀sán tẹ́lẹ̀. Ó ti pa àkókò dà ní sáà yìí sí aago 11 àárọ̀ di aago 12 ọ̀sán. Àkókò ló yí padà o. Gbogbo ohun tẹ́ ẹ máa ń jẹ̀gbádùn lórí ètò Ta ló mọlúwa ò yí padà. Tèmítọ́pẹ́ ọmọ Fálànú yín onígègé àrà ọmọ ìyá àdúrà yóò máa wà lórí ètò láti tún máa kí oríkì Olódùmarè lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tẹ́ mọlúwa náà máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láti kí oríkì Olúwa tẹ́ ó sì tún láǹfààní láti jẹ ẹ̀bùn tẹ́ bá ti ń dáhùn ìbéèrè láti inú Bíbélì mímọ́ láago 11 òwúrọ̀ sí aago 12 ọ̀sán ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àìkú Sunday ni o. Lẹ́hùn máa pàdé olólùfẹ́ yín Tèmítọ́pẹ́ ọmọ Fálànú lórí ètò Ta ló mọlúwa. Fún ìkéde àti ìpolówó ẹ kàn sí ẹ̀ka ìpolówó ọjà ní 32 FM tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè Tọ́pẹ́ Fálànú sórí 070-5140-4540 070-5140-4540. Ta ló mọlúwa tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí á tún lárinrin o ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ mísì ẹ̀.
32 FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter. When the people became silent,
the government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9.
Safa pelisizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula mo Aniteleni ko Kelize Wemaye wemodo Safa pelisizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Kavula mo Aniteleni ko Kelize
Welcome back. It's the Podium on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. On this segment of the Podium, let's talk about what concerns you and what concerns me, what concerns every one of us in Nigeria. The queues are long, winding, and torturous. The crowds of fuel seekers are agitated and visibly angry. The attendants at the fuel filling stations are ever ready to attend mostly to the highest bidders, ready to part with some extra cash. Not long after, the jostling for the much-needed fuel degenerates into bloody fisticuffs as verbal missiles are exchanged more freely than bullets at the battlefield. Valuable man-hours are wasted and lost. But sometimes you ask, who really cares? At least, not right here and now in Nigeria. Many people have been queuing. Many people have been facing this pain. You find it so difficult to get fuel. Even when you get, fuel is expensive. How much did you buy fuel during the week? How much is it being sold? Before the rains, there was this massive heat. The humidity level was so high. Many could not even buy fuel to power their generators. And then you want to ask, what a pain! What a pain! On the street this morning, our correspondent, staff correspondent, Oyeni Yesan, is on the street right now. He'll be joining live right now from the Badro environment. And then we want to ask, what is the fuel condition like in Ibadan this morning? Okay, Esson, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm cool, sir.
What part of town?
I am in the city of Ibadan.
Yeah, what part of Ibadan are you?
Around the axis of Mogandabout.
Okay. And then what is happening? What are the queues like this morning?
It is crazy here on the street of Ibadan right now. It's crazy. People are queuing, and I'm having some persons to talk to. They are ready to review the lamentations as regards the petrol fuel scarcity.
All right, let's hear one or two people before I pick some calls in the studio.
With
Remember,
me here, can you introduce yourself, sir?
Okay.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Tokwe Yusuf.
Tokwe?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ibadan Southwest, Oyo State, Nigeria.
Okay, how has it been?
The issue of... Yeah, I'm very okay, and you?
Very well.
Yeah, the issue of fuel crisis, because it's very, very painful for Nigeria here. We have resources, and we don't have... We have resources, and very, very hard for someone to use what you have. Like yesterday now, I want to buy a fuel. The fuel that we have Nigeria here, I buy black market yesterday, 500 naira per liter. I buy 5 liter is 2,500 naira yesterday here. For this Nigeria, people are selling fuel 300 naira per liter, 400 naira per liter. It's very crazy, Mr. President. For this Nigeria, it is very, very hard for Mr. President to address a nation for 1 minute. Can you just imagine?
Okay,
wrong.
okay. Hold on, Mister. I know it's been tough for you getting fuel from what you are saying now, and you had to even go as much as buying black market. And you said you bought 5 liters. I guess it was to power your generator, right? For you to have light at home.
Yes.
Okay. Before you bought for 500 at the black market, didn't you find any filling station, any fuel station where they were selling fuel? Were you impatient to queue in, or was it that you didn't get fuel from any fuel station?
Yeah, I went to a filling station early in the morning by 6 o'clock in the morning. I was in a queue from morning to evening. Immediately I want to receive a fuel. From morning to evening, immediately I want to receive a fuel. He said, stop selling the fuel. For this Nigeria, very, very crazy. It's not good.
So you were heartbroken. You queued from 6 a.m. till evening.
Yes.
You didn't give me the time precisely in the evening, but it got to your turn to buy fuel, and they said they were no more selling, right?
Stop selling fuel.
Oh, that could be heartbreaking, Mr. Yusuf. It could be heartbreaking.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to hear from the other man beside you there.
Hello, I'm with another person right here. Sir, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Kendi Alabi Olamide.
Olamide, let's have your thoughts. How biting has it been?
Hello.
How biting has it been, Olamide? I can hear you. How biting has it been?
Oh, this fuel passing issue is very, very hard. So actually, I went to the petrol station yesterday. I was there around 8 a.m. and I left there around 6 p.m. and I couldn't get petrol at all. It's very scarce.
So did you resolve to buy in black market too, or you couldn't afford to buy black market?
Yeah, I tried and get black market and Sabo. Yeah, they said one liter at 500 per rate.
Okay, thank you for giving that insight. Oyeniyeso, you are still there on the street, right?
Yes.
Can we get people who are on a queue in a fuel station? Let us speak with them.
But after that queue, let's talk to this old man, sir.
Okay, let me speak with him.
I am Adeyemo Rafael, my name.
Adeyemo what?
Adeyemo Rafael is my name.
Okay, how has the experience been in the past week?
On this fuel scarcity or what?
Yes, on the fuel scarcity.
This fuel scarcity don't damage Nigeria image. Our welfare, our leader, our welfare, they don't take it serious. We have 5 refineries in Nigeria. No one is working. It is an insult to our leaders.
Have you bought fuel today? Have you bought fuel?
No one is working.
Okay, have you bought fuel?
Our welfare, they are not fair to us with our welfare.
Mr. Adeyemo, Have you bought
They
petrol?
want to increase it indirect, not direct. They want to increase fuel indirect, not direct.
Okay, Mr. Demo, have you bought petrol?
Sir?
Have you bought petrol? Have you bought petrol?
I bought it.
How much did you buy?
Before I get it.
How much did you buy?
I spent 3 hours before I got it in the petrol station.
How much did you buy it?
I bought a normal rate, but the super is more than what I can buy extra self.
You see, when you say normal, Mr. Demo, when you say normal rate,
I abandoned my business. I go stay for petrol station for 5 hours.
okay, Mr. Demo, let me come to this level. How much you buy? How much they sell fuel to you? How much you buy? When you talk normal rate, how much you buy normal rate?
I bought it at normal rate. And the suffer before I get it is more than if they sell above price. I will be happy.
Okay.
Because the suffer is too much.
Okay. All right. The pain is too much. Oh, yeah, so we'll get back to you as we get to speak with people from the fuel. Yeah, we'll get to speak with people from the fuel station. So I'll be getting back to the studio to pick some calls here in the studio while you move to another filling station and see how we can get to speak with some people that are buying, and if possible, if we can speak to some of the attendants. I don't mind.
Presently, I'm heading to Total Filling Station beside the house right now.
Okay.
And the
I'll
filling
have to.
station
I'll have
presently shut down.
Okay.
You have to.
Do we have queues there? Do we have queues there?
There are no queues here, and they are not selling fuel.
They are not selling. Okay.
Yes.
I'll have to call you back later to get your position and where you are, and we get to speak with some people at the fuel station there.
No problem, sir.
Okay. That's the street fuel from that's with Ogeni on there. And you could hear the lamentations. It's biting hard. Well, the last speaker there said it is a disgrace to the Nigerian state that we have what it takes to produce fuel, but we couldn't get it. 0705 5949 and 080 949. Have you gotten fuel? How much did you get? How long did it take you to get? Did you use your value time to queue for fuel? Those are the questions this morning. You can call in and let's get to hear your thoughts. Let's hear how your week went with the petrol issue in Nigeria. 0705 5949 080 949. Okay, you have called back. Let me tell you a little story of mine this week. My own experience. I had to look for fuel around. I couldn't get. And when I got, I had to buy for 220 naira per liter. Very alarming, right? Even my ID card couldn't work for me. ID cards don't sell fuel. I had to queue to get fuel at 220 naira per liter. How much did you get fuel in your area? Are they selling fuel right now? Are you in a fuel station? Remember, you can't make a phone call in a fuel station. Except you're outside the fuel station queuing, then we can talk to each other. Hello, good morning. Okay, 0705 5949 0809 7949. Well, those that are in diaspora, you can call and share the pain with those that are here. Plus 234 906 200949. Or you can drop a message on that number on WhatsApp. Those are the numbers to call. Hello, good morning. Okay, we'll have to check this phone box. 0705 5949 0809 7949. You can also drop your messages on plus 234 906 200949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, I'm Emmanuel calling back again.
Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Do you have fuel?
There's fuel in part of the area, my side.
Where are you calling from, Emmanuel?
Felele.
You are calling from Felele. Okay.
Yes.
You have fuel there. How much is it being sold for?
Some at times 200, 250, and it's not always available.
But you are comfortable getting it at that price, right?
At all, we're not comfortable actually.
Okay.
At all. Not comfortable because it's something we never prepared for. I hope you understand. And the fact is things are getting too difficult because to move to work, to go to our work is getting more costlier. Where I go to ring for like 100 naira, 200 naira, I now spend like 500 naira.
Wow.
In a day I spend more than 1,000 trying to go to my working place.
Wow.
And the fact is, this same government were the one that promised us so many refineries that will be free to save us from this scarcity of wealth. So it is very painful to discover they never did anything about it. Even though they gave us money for the rehabilitation of those refineries, and yet nothing was done. The money was just being embezzled by them. This present APC administration, they are the worst we can ever have in this country. The best is we should vote for credible people 2023.
All right.
Save us from these crises.
All right.
Thank you, Emmanuel from Imado.
Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning. Okay, kindly turn down.
Hello.
Okay, kindly turn down the volume on your radio set. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Mrs. Obasi Blessing, calling from Money Akingbile.
All right, let's have your experience this week. Do you have fuel? How much have you bought fuel, if you do have?
In fact, this fuel issue, it makes me to cry the day I was in police station. Imagine a married woman. I have my money. I have to cry and plead before I could pay fuel. And the one they say to me is even not up to the amounts I have. In fact, I don't know. In fact, I'm short of words because that day I couldn't eat. I left home early. I have to go and queue. And in fact, they brushed my car because this country is totally break down. We have what it takes to produce fuel. We have everything, natural resources, but we are suffering. I was lamenting that day that they have to attend to me. So I don't know. They should do something. If they can, or if the government or people in charge, if they are not capable again, people should come out and protest. We are no more comfortable. It's too much.
All right. Thank you, Madam Obasi. Lament no more. Better days ahead. 0705 500949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Sulaiman Sharif is one already.
All right, Sulaiman Sharif. Let's have your thoughts.
To be sincere with you, even everything is not really good in our country. In my own area, the fuel, they are just selling it 250 naira.
What area is that? What area is that?
Olorun. But only few of the police station open their station. Only few. Even they should do time for it. Some they really open it early in the morning. Before it, they just that they have stopped till the following day.
All right.
So the major problem is that no petrol, no.
Oh, Sheriff. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm calling from New York.
From New York. Okay, your name?
Yes. All right, my name is Muideen Olariwaju.
All right, let's have your thoughts. You want to share the pain with those here?
Sir, I know. I've heard this many times. You guys in Nigeria are not serious. The governor's house should have been invaded by now and people telling him to resign.
That is
he should be crying to Abuja.
That is becoming too violent. No, we should
dialogue. No violence. You should go. You should go to his office, or to the resident of the governor and protest that he should resign. He should be on phone with Buhari right now. Please, sir, help me. My people are crying, and let the Abuja feel the heat. He's not feeling the heat. You're not making him feel the heat. So therefore, he's not going to tell Abuja what to do. They are comfortable in government and enjoying. You have been with this. problem for so long. I was Nigerian. I experienced this before. It's saddening. It's sickening. That is 21st century. This is happening. Again, I left Nigeria some 20 years ago. I experienced this. It's still happening. You guys are not ready. All you do is complain on radio. Today, I'm telling you, with all this happening in Ibadan, I'm very sure there are a lot of programs in Ibadan, a lot of halls fully booked now for party, people going for wedding or birthday and enjoying, eating pepper soup and jollof rice. You guys are not ready. This will never happen to a white man. They will be on the street. They will shut everything down. We are suffering. You are crying every day. Tomorrow is going to be the same thing. You have to be in front of his office. Mr. Governor, help us. No, he's an engineer. How has he helped the state of your state with his career? All the go there to make money, get out of the office and get richer because you can only complain on radio. You are not serious. I heard it on your radio. I heard it on Obilo or Splash FM. All the radio shows across Nigeria. Nigeria is about complaint. Can you just act? Go to his office, sir. Our life, you can't bear this no more. We are suffering. It's saddening that Nigerians are going to Ukraine embassy. Give us the weapon. Give us visa. We want to go and die in Ukraine. That's sad. You should be crying. Brother, you in the studio. You should be crying for our country. It's sickening. It's saddening. Man, what kind of a country is this? No light, no fuel. You should be crying. There shouldn't be any party anymore in Ibadan for the next 9 months. Be on the street and demand for what you want. And force them to do it. That's how you demand for your right. They're just making your life like slavery. You are living slavery under the black man's power. If it's white people are doing this to you, you'll be complaining, oh, they are arresting. It's saddening. I'm watching myself being, but I hear all this already. Let the governor feel the heat and let him cry to Abuja. Let the Abuja to be feeling the heat that people are crying. Hello, brother. Have a lovely day.
All right, thank you. You want me to cry? Hope you buy me some buckets so that I'll cry and fill up that bucket. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Your name and where you're calling from. Kindly turn down the volume on your radio set so we can hear ourselves better. All right, hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. I can hear you.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from. Okay, you have to call back. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kola from Okebana.
All right, Kola Wale Kazim. Let's hear your voice.
Hello?
Kola, let's hear your thoughts.
Okay, yes, I'm very listening. I want to talk about the oil something. In my own area too, it's very bad. It's not only the oil that we are also suffering from, we are also suffering from the electricity. And as the caller from people said, it's not only the federal government that we have state government. Those states, for example, they are building modular refinery. The government is building modular refinery. Here in your state, what are we doing? If you want to say, oh, it is only the federal government, the governors also, they collect tax from us. They should be, if you are not even going to use the state money to do it, you can facilitate private companies to come and build modular refinery to your own state. You just sit down there and wallowing, pay salaries, and they think that's what the economy is all about. I've been talking about this electricity for a very long time. Ever since Mr. Martin has become the governor for your state. I said, instead of you spending money on street lights and motor parks, this money is enough for you to spend on the electricity.
Kola, can you hear me?
Spend this money on the electricity, you will get the electricity of your state.
Kola, can you hear me? Kola, can you hear me?
Of electricity that they need.
Hello, Kola.
The state will not be dependent on the national grid.
Hello, Kola, can you hear me?
And it is in the Constitution of Nigeria, if you look at Section 14, component list, paragraph 14 of Nigeria Constitution.
Kola, can you hear me?
That generate and distribute electricity to their own people. It's very clear.
Okay, Kola.
Collect taxes from us. Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Thank you.
No, now let me ask you a question.
I hear you very well. Thank you.
All right, you have to call back 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. The question is, do you have fuel Was it easy getting fuel? And how much is fuel in your area? Some people have called it buy at $2.50. Some bought at $2.20. What is the price of fuel in your area? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Michael calling from Bodija.
Bodija. How is the fuel situation in Bodija?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How is the fuel situation in Bodija?
Yes. Well, talking of my mom, there's a little business. I wanted to go and get software in a cab, but they couldn't sell. So, small business is suffering during this period because most of these stations are not selling by the keg. Except you go with your motorcycle or your car, and not everybody has the car. So, small business is suffering a lot. So, for me, talking about the last caller, I think you not blame the governor. This is not the governor's fault. So, for me, I think it's federal government. Talking about the issue of power, the governor cannot provide electricity for you because it's the control of the federal government.
All right, Michael.
The governor cannot
can you
provide
hear me?
power today and sell.
Michael.
To pass to national grid. So, for me, that's the problem of the federal government. So I just hope election will come in very soon. I think we should be prepared to do the right thing. Because when it comes to election, most of us, we don't vote. We only complain on radio. When it comes to election time, we don't come out to vote. I hope this time around, most of us will have learned our lesson in a very bitter way.
Okay.
So the election will soon be here. Let us come out and do the right thing. God bless you.
Thank you for calling, Michael, all the way from Bodija. We'll go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll round it off. Remember, we started with the primary healthcare centers, and then we delved into the fuel issue. That's what we are facing right now across the nation. We'll go on this break. Remember, it's still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. I am CHIKE OGBOGU.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
ẹ mọ̀ kó àsìkò yìí níbi gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi mo ní kí n wí fún yín ní ètò àdìtú bíbélì tí sì kò padà látàgò 8 ààbọ̀ àárọ̀ tẹ́ ti máa gbọ́ lọ́jọ́ Sunday sáago 2 ààbọ̀ sí 3 ọ̀sán gbèrè àdìtú bíbélì aago 2 ààbọ̀ ọ̀sán sí 3 ọ̀sán ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday lẹ́ẹ̀mọ́ gbọ́ báyìí o kọ́lọ́run ó lè sí wa lójú sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ kọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ bá sí wa sú kí bíbélì ò lè yé wa kó yé wa ká lè níyà ìnípẹ̀kun a jẹ́ pé kájọ mọ́ pàdé Kúnlé Bello ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìsinmi látàgò 2 ààbọ̀ ọ̀sán sí 3 ọ̀sán ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday lórí ètò àdìtú bíbélì ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday ní olórí ìkànnì yìí 32 FM 94.9 àjàkẹ́ni ní Cocoa House nìbàdàn lórí ètò àdìtú bíbélì ọlọ́run ọmọ tú bíbélì fún wa o tọrọ ọlọ́run ó wá yé wa tí ó yé wa torí lórí ètò àdìtú bíbélì ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday látàgò 2 ààbọ̀ sí 3 ọ̀sán gbèrè ọlọ́run mi yóò mọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀.
èyí lè tó kan ètò kan aláàbí o níbi tá ó ti mọ kàn lọ́rùn.
egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
ojú rẹ̀ ṣàjọlọ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ́jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. inú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ́jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. a wà ní nọ́mbà 17 ọba akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street Aláàfin Avenue Olúyọ̀lé Estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa Veneton cleanser àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
Ọlọ́run wòlíì Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ máa ró gbogbo ènìyàn lágbára níbi ìpàdé májẹ̀mú 72
hours ní mẹ́síkà àkọ́kọ́lélẹ́ ní 2022 power and air. Àkòrí tí Ọlọ́run fún Prọfẹ̀tà Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ o. Ti CAC májẹ̀mú àánú gbogbo aládùúwà. Ó yá ká gbójú wa gbọ́ lára ènìyàn. Ká lọ bèrè fún agbára Ọlọ́run tó máa so wá pọ̀ mọ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́ àgbáyé. Ìwọ náà wá darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀rí tí kọ́ńtà yìí o. Látọjọ́ Friday 11 ní Sunday 13th March. Nígbà
tí Ọlọ́run bá lu ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ìránṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí bíi pásítọ̀ Adélakùn Ayẹwà, Bùkọ́lá Adéṣẹ́wọlẹ́jẹ́, Ìlàjà Kétúndé Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, Yẹmí David Látàbúlé, Kẹ́ni Ológun Àrà, Prọfẹ̀tà Ìwọ Òjò bàbá ìṣẹ́jú orí afẹ́fẹ́ yóò máa sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ìyanu yóò máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lójú ẹsẹ̀ láti Ìwọ́rọ̀dù Ìbàdàn. Bó ti jẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, Ọ̀sẹ̀jẹ̀rẹ̀ ní Mẹ́síkàm ní kẹ́ máa bọ̀. Bàbá ti wọnú àdúrà láago 9 lọ́jọ́ Friday 11. Ọjọ́ Monday ní kùtùkùtù la máa ṣorí ọ̀fẹ́ o. Wà á gbàgbára Ọlọ́run tó máa sọ́pọ̀ mọ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́.
Ege Cameroon kì í ṣe orílẹ̀-èdè tó sábà máa ń host ẹgbẹ́ ilẹ̀ káwa ọgbà ni.
wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ àwọn oníbàárà àwọn tá máa fi gbà.
àwọn wo nìyẹn.
ẹ jẹ́ a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ.
Obìnrin Àjàdí Adébọ́lá yàrá ọ̀dọ̀ yìí máa wà apá ọ̀dọ̀ yìí máa sùn ẹni máa bọ́ síbà jèrè.
ọlọ́run jẹ́ àṣàṣìra wa.
Theophilus Abega Rogamila àwọn méjèèjì yẹn gbéná lé Nàìjíríà ní score 3 goals.
líìgì ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì àti líìgì àgbọ̀jẹ̀ níbo la yanjú ẹ̀ sí ná.
Oh my God. aago mẹ́rin kọjá ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún látọjọ́ Ajé Monday títí di Friday àti láago kan sáago mẹ́ta lọ́jọ́ àbámẹ́ta Sátidé. Ege.
Mariaba lawan salam, Mariaba lawan salam, oṣù ìkéde Ramadana.
Alhamdulillah. 32 FM Islamic Quiz 2022 ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì irú ẹ̀ tún ti dé o. gbogbo ọjọ́ Monday, Tuesday àti Wednesday làwọn ọmọ yóò fi láǹfààní àti pè wọlé dáhùn béèrè tí àwọn ọmọ tó bá gba máàkì tó pọ̀ jù yóò fojú rinjú lọ́jọ́ Thursday lórí rédíò láti mọ̀ ta ni olùborí fún ọ̀sẹ̀. báyìí la ó ṣe fún ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin nínú Ramadan ní gbogbo aago 12:00 sáago kan ọ̀sán 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. tó bá wá dọjọ́ ọdún ìtúnu àwẹ̀ làwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tó borí lọ́sẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan yóò kojú ara wọn láti mọ̀ ta ni yóò gbégbá orókè gan nínú ìdíje 32 FM Islamic Quiz 2022. àwọn ẹ̀bùn kànrìnkànrìn bíi ilẹ̀, fìríìjì, fáànù, owó tabua àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ti wà nílẹ̀ fún àwọn olùkópa wa. àwọn ọmọ tí ọjọ́ orí wọn wà ní ọdún 8 sí 15 8 to 15 ló lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti kópa nínú ìdíje yìí. ẹ pè ayédùn 0708 319 6095.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Safa sapeli sizo simnyama. Iwa safa. Isizo saba. Kavula mo.
On the podium this morning, we looked at primary healthcare centers in Oyo State. We also looked at the fuel issues surrounding us right now. On Facebook, Sheson Atolagbe, your greetings well acknowledged. Ajakaye Tomilade, okay, thank you very much. And Lawal Olekan, okay, thank you, good morning. Okay, good morning. Thank you for appreciating the contributions. Balkis on Nadira, regarding the Lassa Fever outbreak in Oyo State that resulted in the deaths of 2 health workers, I would like to urge the people of Oyo State to maintain a very clean atmosphere and to cover their food pots at all times. This is why I've opted to participate in an online session hosted by the Oyo PHOEC to learn about Lassa Fever prevention. Please, as the doctor has requested, let people of Oyo State keep the environment clean. May God protect us from illness. That's from Balkis or Nodiran. Okay, INT'L, Rashidat. Well, see that. Okay, here, Balkis or Nodiran came again and said, hello, 32 FM. As Nigerians will be affected by the ongoing fuel shortage, there is no power to charge inverters, and there is no fuel for generators or automobiles. Despite these issues, including fuel scarcity, ASU strike, power outages, and rising food costs, the president remains silent and outside the country. I wouldn't want to say Nigerian politicians are the meanest individuals on the planet. Okay, you wouldn't want to say that. Then you ask me, you say, Chike, are you optimistic that your situation as a Nigerian will improve? May our land be healed by God. You asked me that question, and then I answer you with Sonny Okosu's Little Jam here.
Which way Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go.
All right, Sonny Okosu there. Which way to go? Which way Nigeria? Nigeria must not fall. That is Sonny Okosu there. Let's pick one or two more calls and call it a wrap on this episode of the Podium. What is the fuel situation like in your area? 0705 5000 949. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. 0705 5000 949. 080 97000 949. Those are the numbers to call. Hello, good morning. Okay, you have to call back 0705 5000 949, 080 97000 949. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You are live already. Okay, you have to call back. Okay, Lawal Leko, I can see your greeting there. And Buliamin Kafayat Oluwakpelumi, I can see your message there on Facebook. What is the fuel situation like? It's not about saying hi. Tell us about the fuel situation in your area. How much are you buying fuel in your area? Let's listen more to Sonny Okosu.
Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah.
Emma.
Green revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow.
0705 5000 949, 080 7000 949. Okay, those are the numbers to call, and then we get your thoughts there and call it a wrap on this edition. Okay, let me see if I can pick one last call before we leave. Hello? Okay, it dropped. Okay, I'll leave you with the remaining part of Sonny Okosu's song until I come your way next week. My guest next week on the podium is a former national vice chairman of the People's Democratic Party, a retired naval commodore, and a former military administrator in Ondo State. I'm talking about Chief Olabode Ibiyinka George. Chief Bode George will be my guest next week on the podium. And then the podium will take a new shape next week, where we'll have a very interesting session. Keep your fingers crossed. What is Chief Bode George telling us? You get to know next week, Saturday, on the podium. I am CHIKE OGBOGU. Thank you for being there, dear listener. I walked alongside Thomas Ikechukwu Lucky this morning and Kayode Obisheson, also Oyeniyi Esan, for the production of the podium. Bye for now. Have a very wonderful weekend. And let's remain positive.
Way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh, sure.